Hello, wonderful story lovers, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we have a truly special tale for you, one that will warm your heart and maybe even teach us all a little something about ourselves. This is the story of the elephant who forgot his strength. Once upon a time, nestled deep within a lush, vibrant jungle where sunlight dappled through the leaves like scattered gold coins, lived a young elephant named Eli. Eli was, by all accounts, a magnificent creature. His skin was the color of a gentle twilight, and his tusks, though still growing, gleamed like polished pearls. He was big, he was strong, but there was something peculiar about Eli. He had no idea just how strong he truly was. Unlike the other elephants who would confidently trumpet their presence and push over old rotting logs with a single nudge, Eli was timid. He tiptoed through the jungle, which for an elephant was quite a comical sight. He would apologize to the bushes if he rustled their leaves and flinch if a monkey chattered too loudly. "Oh, pardon me," he'd whisper to a vine he'd accidentally brushed against. The other animals found him endearing but puzzling. How could something so large be so gentle, so unaware of his own power? Eli spent most of his days near the whispering waterfall, where the water tumbled over smooth stones, creating a constant, soothing hum. He loved watching the tiny fish dart through the clear pools and listening to the frogs sing their croaky chorus. He felt safe there, away from the hustle and bustle of the main jungle paths where he might accidentally bump into someone. One sunny afternoon, a tiny hummingbird named Pip, known for his dazzling emerald feathers and even faster tongue, zipped over to Eli. "Eli, Eli," he chirped, hovering right in front of the elephant's large, soft eye. "Why are you always hiding here? The grand banyan tree is dropping its sweetest figs. Come on, it's a feast." Eli blinked slowly. "Oh, Pip," he rumbled softly. "I'd love to, but so crowded. What if I step on a flower? Or knock over a berry bush? I'm just so clumsy." Pip tilted his head. "Clumsy? Eli, you're an elephant. You're meant to be big. You're meant to be strong. It's who you are." Eli just shook his head, his large ears drooping slightly. He simply couldn't see it. He saw himself as a fragile, awkward giant, a walking accident waiting to happen. The idea of his own strength was a foreign concept, a story told about other elephants, not him. The next day, a great storm, the likes of which the jungle hadn't seen in years, swept through the land. The wind howled like a wounded tiger, and rain fell in thick, relentless sheets. When the storm finally passed and the sun hesitantly peeked out, the jungle was in disarray. Panic began to spread from the direction of the river. Eli, drawn by the commotion, cautiously made his way toward the sound. There he saw a crowd of animals gathered at the riverbank. The storm had caused a massive ancient tree to fall, and it had crashed right across the only path leading to the high ground, where many of the smaller animals had their homes. Worse still, a family of capybaras, including two little ones, were trapped on the wrong side. Their burrow now blocked by the colossal trunk. The monkeys tried to pull at the branches, but they were too heavy. The wild boars tried to push with their snouts, but the log wouldn't budge. Everyone was chattering and squeaking in distress. The little capybaras were crying, and their parents looked on helplessly. Pip the hummingbird zipped over to Eli, who was standing at the back of the crowd, looking worried. "Eli, you have to do something," Pip chirped urgently. "Me? What can I do?" Eli asked, his voice trembling. "I'll only make things worse." "No, you won't," Pip insisted. "Look at the size of that tree, and then look at the size of you. You are the only one who can move it." Eli looked at the fallen tree, then at the terrified family of capybaras. Their little faces were filled with fear. For the first time, Eli felt a stir of something other than anxiety. It was a pull, a need to help. Saw their fear, and it overshadowed his own. Taking a deep breath, he slowly walked forward. The other animals parted, their eyes wide with a mixture of hope and doubt. He approached the massive log. It was bigger than any tree he had ever dared to touch. He could feel his heart thumping in his chest. "Can't," he whispered to himself. But then he looked at the little capybaras again. He remembered Pip's words, "You are strong enough." He lowered his head and placed his broad forehead against the rough bark of the fallen tree. He planted his feet firmly in the muddy ground, gathering all the courage he could find. He closed his eyes and pushed. At first, nothing happened. The log was immense, unyielding. He felt a wave of his old fear. See, I can't, he thought. But then he pushed again, not with panic, but with purpose. He imagined the little capybaras being safe in their burrow. He poured all of his focus, all of his will, into that one single motion. And then, something incredible happened. A groan echoed through the clearing as the giant log began to shift. The ground trembled slightly. Eli opened his eyes in surprise. It moved. He pushed again, harder this time, a deep, resonant grunt escaping him. The log scraped against the earth, slowly, steadily, moving inch by inch. The other animals watched in stunned silence. They weren't just watching a clumsy elephant anymore. They were watching a hero. With one final mighty heave, Eli pushed the tree clear of the path. A cheer erupted from the crowd. The monkeys hooted, the birds sang, and the capybara family scurried across the cleared path, nuzzling against Eli's leg in gratitude. Thank you, they chittered. Lee stood there, panting, looking at the massive tree he had just moved. He looked down at his own sturdy legs, at his powerful body, and for the first time, he understood. The strength wasn't something to be afraid of. It wasn't a curse that made him clumsy. It was a gift. A gift he could use to help, to protect, to make a difference. From that day on, Eli was a changed elephant. He still walked gently, but now it was a choice, not a result of fear. He used his strength with care and kindness. He would help clear paths after smaller storms, give the monkey children rides on his back, and carefully reach the highest, tastiest leaves for the shorter giraffes. It was about knowing your power and choosing to use it with a gentle heart. Eli, the elephant who forgot his strength, finally remembered. And in doing so, he didn't just find his power. He found his purpose. The entire jungle was better for it. What a beautiful story about self-discovery and the nature of true strength. It reminds us that our greatest abilities are most powerful when guided by kindness and compassion. Hey everyone, and welcome back! Today, we're journeying to the vast, shimmering expanse of Antarctica, a world of white and blue where the wind sings and the ice glitters. In this seemingly quiet kingdom lived a colony of emperor penguins, waddling and sliding, their days filled with fishing and huddling for warmth. Among them was a young penguin named Pip. Pip was a little different. While the other penguins were content with the usual fish huddle sleep routine, Pip's feet had a rhythm of their own. He'd tap them on the ice, wiggle his tail feathers, and bob his head to a beat only he could hear. The older penguins, like the wise and stern elder Edgar, would often shake their heads. Pip, Edgar would say in his deep, gravelly voice, "A penguin's life is about survival, not silliness. Save your energy for the cold." But Pip couldn't help it. He saw dance in everything, the swirling snow, the ripple of the water, even the way the seals flopped onto the ice floes. He felt a deep, unshakable belief that there was more to life than just surviving. There was joy to be had, and he was determined to find it. One day, a particularly long and bleak winter settled over the colony. The sun seemed to hide behind the clouds, the winds howled relentlessly, and a gray gloom fell upon everyone. The penguins huddled closer, their chirps were fewer, and the usual playful slides down the ice slopes ceased. Even the thrill of a good fish catch didn't seem to lift their spirits. The entire colony was caught in a deep winter sadness. Pip looked around at the drooping heads and listless waddles, and his heart ached. He knew he had to do something. The beat in his feet grew stronger, an idea taking shape with every tap. He waddled over to his two best friends, a clumsy but enthusiastic penguin named Finn, and a graceful, observant one named Willow. "I've got an idea," Pip chirped, his eyes sparkling with a new fire. "A big one. We're going to put on a show. A dance show." Finn tripped over his own feet in excitement. "A dance show? I mean, like on purpose? In front of everyone?" Willow tilted her head, intrigued. "But Pip," she said gently, "no one dances. Elder Edgar says it's a waste of energy." Pip puffed out his chest. "It's not a waste if it brings back the joy. It's a way to create our own sunshine when the sky won't give us any. We'll call it the Antarctic Antics." The idea was wild, but his passion was contagious. Finn and Willow agreed to help. Their first practice session was to put it mildly, a disaster. Finn kept sliding into Willow. Pip's grand leaps ended in undignified belly flops, and their attempts at synchronized waddling looked more like a confused traffic jam. Other penguins watched from a distance, muttering and chuckling. "Look at them," squawked one, "wasting good fishing time." Elder Edgar watched with a deep frown, his disapproval as cold as the Antarctic wind. But the trio didn't give up. They practiced day after day, in hidden coves and behind large ice formations. Slowly, something magical began to happen. Finn discovered his clumsiness could be turned into hilarious. Tumbling dance moves that made Willow and Pip laugh until their sides hurt. Willow, with her keen eye, became their choreographer, suggesting elegant slides and graceful wing flaps that mirrored the southern lights. And Pip, the heart of the group, wove it all together with his infectious rhythm. He taught them to listen to the music of their world, the crackle of the ice, the rush of the wind, the splash of the waves. Their clumsy steps turned into a unique, energetic, and truly penguin-like dance. Their enthusiasm started to attract a few curious onlookers. A couple of younger penguins, tired of the gloom, began to secretly copy their moves. Soon, a small crowd would gather to watch their rehearsals, their chirps of amusement slowly turning into cheers of encouragement. They saw Pip, Finn, and Willow not just goofing around, but creating something vibrant and full of life. They were creating warmth, not with their bodies, but with their spirit. The day of the big show arrived. Pip and his growing troupe had carved out a small stage on a flat sheet of ice, with icicles hanging down like a crystal curtain. Almost the entire colony had gathered, their curiosity finally outweighing their skepticism. Even Elder Edgar stood at the back, his arms crossed, a stern expression on his face. A hush fell over the crowd. Then, Pip gave a nod. The performance began. It was a spectacle unlike anything the penguins had ever seen. They started with a synchronized slide that ended in a dramatic pose. Finn executed a series of perfectly timed comic tumbles, making the little chicks giggle. Willow led a line of dancers in a wave-like motion, their wings creating beautiful patterns against the ice. Pip was the star, his feet moving in a blur of taps, slides, and joyful hops. They danced the story of their lives, the thrill of the hunt, the comfort of the huddle, the beauty of a southern sunrise. They weren't just moving. They were telling a story of resilience, community, and joy. As the performance reached its climax, something incredible happened. A little penguin chick, unable to contain himself, waddled out from the crowd and started to mimic Pip's moves. Then another joined, and another. Soon, dozens of penguins, young and old, were moving to the rhythm. The ice plain, once a place of silent gloom, was now a dance floor, filled with laughter and motion. The collective energy was palpable, a wave of warmth spreading through the colony. Finally, the music of their world, their own happy chirps, and tapping feet faded. And the performance ended with one final triumphant pose. For a moment, there was silence. Then the entire colony erupted in the loudest, most joyous chorus of squawks and cheers ever heard in Antarctica. They weren't just clapping for a show. They were celebrating the return of their spirit. Pip, Finn, and Willow took a bow, their hearts soaring. As the crowd celebrated, Elder Edgar slowly waddled through the throng. He stopped in front of Pip. Pip braced himself for a lecture. But instead of a scolding, Edgar's stern face broke into a rare, gentle smile. "Pip," he said, his voice softer than ever before, "I was wrong. Energy spent on creating joy is never wasted. In fact," he added, with a twinkle in his eye, "it might be the most important energy we have." And then, to everyone's astonishment, the old, wise penguin did a small, clumsy, but happy little shuffle with his feet. From that day on, the Antarctic antics became a cherished tradition. The penguins learned that while huddling keeps you warm on the outside, it's joy, creativity, and community that keep you warm on the inside. And it was all thanks to one young penguin who dared to listen to the rhythm in his heart and dance to his own beat. Thank you so much for joining me on this chilly adventure to Antarctica. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales from around the world. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Pip's amazing dance show. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.